just jump right into it, right? So overall, right now we are essentially just still continuing that downtrend overnight and from yesterday's session. And once we broke below that morning range, we haven't really touched back at all. Been selling, and pretty much, nice pivots. Little chop overnight right here. Not chop, more range bound, I would say. And then in the morning pre-market session, a little early, right? Tried to touch the 200 EMA, bounced right back down. See it happen so many times. You see me say it all the time. Nothing new. And right now we're gonna be waiting, obviously, 4 minutes till market open. Gain's a bit too high. Oh yeah, I was playing around with the settings yesterday because I got my new desk and I was moving everything around. That's bad. Let me see. Let me just move this mic right up in the front. What about now? Is it better now? Now too low? Okay, let me switch the setting here. Can you hear better now? Perfect? Okay, perfect. As long as it's perfect. Yeah, pretty much I got my standing desk yesterday, so I was changing up the room. Still have a lot of mess in the room now. Too much stuff, man. Too much stuff. Thanks for letting me know, Enzo. I know, like, mics are always annoying. Good morning, Warren. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, guys, yesterday what happened was, I'll pull up my TradingView charts because that's much easier to read. So yesterday, after, this was yesterday's morning session, right? We were here up until 12, around like 11:15 or so, and I hopped off, right? Didn't get anything. And then I was waiting for the algo alert. I was by my room the whole day. Obviously, this alert we wouldn't get into 5-minute time frames. That's the rule, right? Has to match up. Here, doji candle, you don't get in. Got in right here, took it off at take profit level 1, got away with $700 there. So I was happy with that trade. It was only like 10 minutes. Obviously, I should have held, but I kind of just wanted to be done with it and then continue what I was doing. Yeah, the alert noises can kind of get annoying sometimes, right? That's why I kind of mute them. I kind of just have like a pop-up on my screen. But yeah, yesterday was a nice move. Like, that's one of the things that I've noticed with the algos, like for the 5 minutes with the ES, right? It's like if we don't get a nice alert in the morning session, after lunch we will end up getting either full buy or full sell. That's pretty normal because if the morning session's weak, afternoon it's very strong. And pretty much morning had another alert around 7 o'clock. Obviously, I don't trade that too early in the morning for me to get into a trade. Right now, 9:30 and onwards, that's when I will try to look for a trade. And my game plan today, simply wait for another algo alert, follow it, get some profits. But yeah, for the whole scalping algo, I will be setting it up. I have been talking with TradingView. I'm just waiting for a response from them because I had an issue with their mods because apparently I have to add descriptions, like very detailed description on how my code works because apparently they want it for the Pine coders that they have. I was like, that makes no sense and that gives away my whole process, right? But oh well. Yeah, so hopefully by the end of today, I will hear back from them and then I can repost my script, my algo, and just for the scalping one, right? This algo that you guys see in front of you is already live. It's up there. No issues with that at all. So if you want access, you can either purchase it below or if you want a free trial, just DM me. I'm more than happy to set it up for you guys. And then, yeah, hopefully I can get everything settled for the scalping one. And then whoever like to scalp can go for it. Nice little pump morning, right? I like that. I'll pull up the trade of 8 charts just because it's, it's more reactive. And I have my key levels on here. Hey, good morning, Chris. So pretty much right now, again, we're gonna see if we can create a morning range. I'm not gonna be going for any of the breakout plays because honestly, my risk to reward ratio on the breakouts and the scalps at the moment, because the way the market moves, it's not really worthwhile. I don't want to be risking like 3 points just to get 1 point, right? Because then if I lose one, then I have to just make 3 correct trades just to break even, and that risk to reward ratio does not sit well with me. Good morning, Dragon. Chris, the wicks are, well, the price is still the same, right? You always want to pay attention to the price. The wicks are going to be a bit different, yes. Like, say if I switch to candlestick, the wick will be a bit different, but the whole purpose of the Heikin-Ashi charts is just to understand the smoothed image of the trend that's happening. I'll use regular candlesticks when I'm just trying to trade price action, but right now, because of the way the market moves, going for those quick scalps and the way it keeps bouncing back and forth, I'd rather stay out of it and just go for my algo alerts and just go for the big play. Honestly, you just need like 1 trade a day and not even to have a good week. Because if I stayed in the trade yesterday, I only took it off for 700 profit, but I could have held it to my take profit level 3 because it was a perfect move. That would have been a nice, easy 2100 based off 2 contracts. And I always trade 2 contracts. So if you're scalping in this market, I realize like you have to be pretty much in and out like in a few seconds, or else it ends up like pumping back and forth, and I don't like that. And that's just to my trading style, right? And you'll see me switch back and forth between candlesticks and Heikin-Ashi just because the way I analyze everything. So one of the interesting things that I was like starting to notice, and I was like really trying to backtest a lot more, was just playing around with the cumulative delta and understanding, you know how you see like these green bars and red bars down here? You can use that for scalping. I kind of just did like the backtesting mode in Tradeovate. It worked out really well actually. If you're just going for 1 point off of the scalps after you hit your first like red candle, for example. I'll make this bigger so it's more visible. For example, right, what essentially you would be looking for is the first green or the first red. So in this case, since we had green, 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 the next move we're waiting for is to push down, get the sellers in. And this red pretty much indicates that we had high selling volume pile up right here. So what you want to do is at the low of this candle, you want to go for a quick 1 point. And that's all you're going for, that 1 point, right? So this bigger, nice and easy to read, right? 28, so 29. And you're going for 1 point, which would 8. You'd get it. Obviously, overnight it's gonna take a lot longer, but the whole point is like here, red. Obviously, it didn't go to the low again, so you wouldn't have got filled in anyway. But then you got the first green candle right here. Boom. Quick 1 point again. I found that very interesting. This method is purely just following the volume stepping in and watching the delta, right? How long did it take me to pass the combine? The first time I did it, I failed. And like within the week, and then after that, I think I was done within like a month and a half or so. About a month. Yeah, because I started with Top Step a while. Like last year was when I started with Top Step in 2019. It was. Let me check if I have the exact date for it. Yeah, I started in June 2019 was for the Top Step account, not just futures, right? I've been training them for a while, but Top Step was June 2019. It was like the second or third week of June, and then I was done before July ended. So when you're in the simulator, they do have their monthly fee, depending on which account you do choose 30K or 50K or 100K or 150. Um, so based on which account you choose, they will have that monthly fee, but that monthly fee will go away once you pass the combine, and the only fee you'll have is um the CME data feed fee, right? That you have to pay for any broker. Most brokers don't really waive that. That's just a normal fee. So other than that, like you don't really have other fees. Because like after you pass and after you get funded, they take their cut but from your profits whenever you withdraw money. You're looking for more big drops, Chris? Okay, let's see what happens. You just make. I don't need it that big. But yeah, perfect example of what I was talking about before, right? We have green, now we have red. On this candle, you'd want to try to go for 1 point. So the low of this candle was 31.99.75, and we'd just be going for 31.98.75. at that one point based on like delta theory, right? Following the volume. So they remove their monthly fee once you get funded. So once you pass their combine, so say if you're doing like the 50K account, I believe it was like what 150 a month or 160 a month until you pass, right? But then once you pass, you don't have that monthly fee from them. The only fee that you have is the CME fee for the data feed. Yeah, the first 5K is all yours. So that's the thing, right? If you're trading with their money, you can trade regular E-mini contracts and NQ contracts. You don't have to trade micros. You just start out with trading one regular contract and you'll be fine. You can still grow that account. Or they actually have a swing trading one that they released this year, I believe. So just for futures, you can swing trade futures and you can hold it overnight, hold it throughout the weekend. So if you guys were interested in that, you guys can go sign up for that and do that. I showed you, like, I've been meaning to open an account for that, or I might make somebody else start it for me to show them and strictly have them follow the algo alerts for the 1 hour. Simply following the NQ alerts on the 1 hour or micros. Oh my god, that's easy. With ES, it doesn't take too long. You just have to be patient, right? And again, like we were talking about that one point before, based on the delta, you would have got that one point, but in this market, the scalping is just not, to me, I don't see it being worthwhile the way I like to trade personally, right? So that's why I'm staying away from it for now. I'd rather just wait for my algo. I know, like in this market, it's been taking a bit more time. In the past couple months, I'd usually just get it early in the morning and I'd be done. But markets are always changing. That's part of the game. So I'll probably just have to end up being patient a little bit. I would, what I would like to see, to be honest, is a nice little pullback to the up, and then maybe I could get short. That's what I would be happy to see. That'd be a pretty nice move for today, because then we can just continue that trend that we're having. And another thing to keep in mind is that we're still strong in that selling trend, right? So this right now is the 1 hour chart, like you guys can see right up there. 1 hour chart, we got the alert on the 1 hour chart from the algo as well. We wanted to short at 32.8525. Got in. We just hit take profit level 3, and we kind of just been, ever since we hit it, been kind of chopping around. Like I always said, these levels act as key levels. Price tends to bounce off of them. And right now, will be interesting to see if we can hold and push through or not. But overall, this was a big move. The 1 hour charts, it was like a 66-point move. And you could, again, if you're trading micros, if you took one contract or two contracts in micros and just did this, trading the 1 hour, you have some good profit as well. In the 1 hour, you'll find some good moves, right? All these down, down, down. We've been pretty much down for a while, guys. And this morning, sell alert kind of pushed through that. Tried to come back in, but pushed through, bounced off of our level, back down. Right now, the way it's forming, still pretty choppy to me. Right now, we did create that morning range, right? I'll draw it out on the regular charts now. So right now, this box, morning range, as always. And now we can see a lot of buyers stepping in, right? So based on like the delta method, essentially what you would want to do is once candle closes, get in at the high of that candle and go for a quick point, and we'll test it out, right? This is going to be our live testing. I'm not going to put any money on it just because, again, we are testing. This isn't like a proven method just yet. This is just something I've been noticing over the past couple weeks as well. So this way you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about live and understand it, and have any questions, we can talk about it. And my data box is right here, right? You'll always see if I hover over a candle, on the left, the little black box will tell you the high, low, close, and volume. Pretty much broke out of that morning range right there. That's a big candle. Where do we go from 201 to... Yikes. Never mind, I would not be touching anything after that. 301 to 322, that's 20, that's a 20-point candle. I mean, we have our key level here, but we already broke through. We pretty much touched it multiple times, so let's see how it reacts. Like overnight, we've been kind of just hovering back and forth between our key level. Oh man, that blows. I mean, that's the thing, right? When you're trading in the morning, you want to have your attention towards it. There's been so many times when I got distracted by little things. He's like, with the ES, you think you have some time, but then sometimes it's just like, boom, it's gone. We are pumping up hard. Is there any news right now? Like, that's a big pump. regular old news. Like, I don't think Jim Cramer saying buying tech stocks is a big deal, right? That's not gonna move the market. Weekly jobless claims rise unexpectedly, totaling 870,000. Okay, that's. Let's see. Chris, it's okay, man. Like, that happens. This type of move is. I'm still trying to understand, like, really just people finally stepping in, or I'm trying to understand that. I don't see any news on my radar that can affect a big pump like that. But again, then again, news is always a bit delayed, right? Maybe I'll just look at the resistance levels, support levels on the 1 day. Oh, interesting. Yeah, if you went for that morning breakout immediately, you got it. And remember this pattern. We actually see it more times than you guys think. The first 15 minutes, right? The first 3 candles, 5-minute charts, a bit weak. Again, like sellers in control, and then get that we create that morning range, and then boom, we just pump up. It's a pretty. We see that pattern a good amount of times. Not gonna lie. I mean, right now we still didn't break through that 200 EMA. That's when you know a bigger trend change is happening. Right now, again, we're still below our pivots, so we still made lower lows. This could be a lower high. So right now, I'll still be patient. So this might just be a little trap, and then sellers will step in. Who knows? We gotta wait and see. But again, going back to the delta plays, right? Went for the high of this candle was 32.24.25, and you want to go for a quick point, so that'd be equal 25.25, right? So 25.25, that's right here to here. That quick 1 point right there, based on delta move. That's nice, man. So did you go long on NQ, or did you short? I'm confused. Is that how it, if you went long, I don't know how you would have been down here at all. And you went short. Then wouldn't you have lost? Is it just pumped up? Is our NQ reacting differently right now? No, NQ is a pure pump. NQ is just pumping. Oh, okay. Now I know what you mean. Let's see the ES. Some nice moves today. Creativate really needs to fix that. All my indicators and my drawings like always disappear every time I switch a chart and I have to roll back. Kind of just hit our key level and pushing down a little bit, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, we kind of have a potential for another drop, right? Like with the pure setup, like just looking at the overall trend and how everything's working, we're still creating lower lows. Like I understand that we did break a mini pivot here, but the bigger pivots is what matters the most, right? These mini pivots are just for short-term plays, but big pivots that we see, these are the ones that matter for the overall trend direction. And right now, we're still following that trend. Yeah, and so when it's bouncing like that, it's better to stay away. Especially if you're just trying to scalp for like little plays, then you want to be very careful. If you're okay with having some drawdown and letting it run, that's a different story. But when markets like bouncing off like that, then you gotta be very careful. And if you get in, make sure you're out very quick. Yeah, this looks like a pure volume node to volume node play. We have the volume profile up. Second, I'm gonna get this is just getting way too messy for me. I just gotta volume profile. Yeah, this was a node to node play. Finally getting that push again. Getting very close to that pivot high right over here. I'm just gonna be patient. If I can find a nice dip, then yeah, I can get in. If not, then I'll just wait. I'm just gonna wait for the alert, guys. Like that's the whole reason I set the algo up, is so that I can just have a simple system to follow, get my alert. Before I started streaming and everything, I would literally just be doing other stuff all the time, and then I just wait for the alert, quickly hop on, check it out, enter, but now I'm just turning my screens a lot more. Getting super close to breaking that pivot high. We're like a tick short from the pivot high, so we'll see. Market really want to keep up, or what's happening? Yeah, that pretty much that pivot high is where we're seeing sellers like trying to make sure like they don't break through. Buyers are trying to really step in, trying to take them out, go through it right there, see how long they can push up. Would like to see a push down again. Make this like a bull trap. Bear step in. That's a headline I'm not surprised of. It says Trump won't commit a peaceful transfer of power if he loses the election. Like, if you lose, you lose. You just move on. But that's interesting. Economist Stephen Roach issues a new dollar crash warning, and he sees the double dip recession odds above 50%. I mean, not surprised by that, to be honest. Like, our pump was pretty much all fake. Our recovery was pretty much all like government and not really anything else. Stimulus, stimulus, stimulus. Crazy move. As always, I appreciate the likes, guys. Yeah. Yeah, right now we're just pretty much pumping up. We broke through that morning range, right? After that, kind of just been holding above it, and it's pumping. Delta is very strong as well, as we can see down here. See. Yeah, this might just be a little waiting game. That's okay with me. That's 90% of trading, right? Just waiting. And the other 10% is just the anxiety after you enter the trade. See ya, Chris. Have a nice day. I'm really hoping for a nice dump right now. That's what I'm leaning towards at the moment. So we'll see if I can get that. If not, we don't. Hopefully I can get a trade in before 12. After that, I will be busy, so it's like let me check what time. Yeah, man, buyers are really trying. Yeah, you can look at the delta, like it's very strong. Buyers are in control at the moment. So let's see how far they can push up. I'm really hoping that we could get some sellers finally stepping in, but hey, you never know. You're saying 5. Gotta open up. Yeah, 21.5 crossed. Here, let me pull that up. 21.5 crossed here, pushing up. Interesting. The 2. Move it. $200 yellow as always. Yeah, man, what goes up must come down. That is true. In this case, we are making that pump up. This was where the cross happened, right? 21.5. The orange and blue are 21 and 5. And cross happened. Nice pump up. Okay. Again, like I've been saying, like the 21.5 is a great crossover. Super simple to follow and understand. Let's see. saying if the 21 can cross to 200, that would be, that means everything's super strong. As of right now, just looking at the moving averages, right? How big was the crossover? 0.25 points to go from half, around 10 points profit based on the crossover, right? Yeah, that's the one of the things that you gotta be very careful about is when you follow a strategy, make sure you're following it on one platform. Because I noticed the data from like Thinkorswim to Tradeabate to TradingView, they're all slightly different. You're saying the 21 crossed here? One. No, it's still there. If you're looking at regular candlesticks. No, it didn't cross. The white line's at 21. It didn't cross yet. Only the price crossed, yes, but this, no. Oh, micros also, so that, yeah, that's gonna be a little bit different. Yeah, send me a picture. Yeah, we're making a nice move up. Very nice pump. Like we said, right? Goes up, has to come down. Let's just wait for it. I don't know, for the past couple of weeks, the patience really has been being tested. I'm really just getting my discipline back because I was taking some scalps before and taking all these random stuff, and I was just like, why am I doing this? That's why I review my trades every week and see what's going on and then take notes on everything. That's what really helps, man. Having that trading journal really helps you understand, like, hey, what are you doing? And you understand when I was going for the scalps, it's like I was risking too much for those scalps in this market. Like if I was winning 100% of the time, okay, that's a different story. But yeah, we know we can't win 100% of the time, and that was really messing everything up. That's why I'm just gonna stick with my algo alerts. It works for me, gives me income, and right now we're just waiting to see if there's a dump. My only concern is we have the potential to become range bound here, and the reason I say that, right, is because one, we broke through the previous pivot high, right, and then if we pretty much sell off pretty hard, then we're going to end up bouncing back and forth. That's what happens when we break through a previous pivot high, especially a bigger one, right? Not these mini ones, the bigger pivots. And we were range bound overnight around this area as well. The price was just fluctuating back and forth between this area, between 32.38 and 32.10. So that's something we always have to be aware of. Making sure when is the market really pumping and when is the market trying to just be range bound and consolidate for a little bit. So if we can continuously pump up and just get a small pullback and keep pushing, yeah, then it's going to continue that momentum to the upside. But if we're going to have a nice sell-off here, then we might end up being range bound again. Yeah, and I think you're using the regular candlesticks, but then you're also using the range, right? I believe for 7 range with the don't diddle. That's when I see those colors, right? I don't know what range you were using, but you look at the CGC don't diddle. Been pumping up this morning. I don't really follow this too much. I actually don't use it ever. I kind of just had it because like somebody was talking about it. I was like, okay, let me check it out. It's interesting. You know me. I always like to see what's out there. There we go. Oh, you sent me the 5 minute? Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting then that the already crossed. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, right? I don't know how the data feed works for everything. That's interesting. Some sellers finally stepping in, but that's not a confirmation of weakness or at all. After this type of move, small pullback, 1 to 3 red candles, push back up, very common. Be careful. Yeah, I think it might just be because it's micros. Like I keep forgetting that you were trading micros. Yeah, NQ is always instant fills, man. Like that thing moves way too fast. I think Enzo was talking about the 21 EMA on MES. He said I was talking to him before, like privately, about the 21 and 5 EMA crossover. The strategy that works well, you just have to utilize it properly. I'm glad it can help you out, man. That's what I'm here for. Just trying to make a difference, help other people out, meet new people. Yeah, sticking to your rules and making sure you have that confirmation and that you're confident is exactly what matters when you're trading. Like you don't want to be over trading. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I need to take a lot of trades to be profitable." But no, it's like you can take one trade and still make out big. It's just about being patient and waiting for that A plus setup, right? Yeah, that was my thing too because like I didn't see the 21 cross the 200, but I don't know. Maybe he might have a different setting on his chart. I don't know. But yeah, guys, when you guys are trading, like this is just my advice. If you want to hear it, you can hear it. If not, then you can ignore it completely, right? It's up to you. But just honestly, my experience, wait for your A plus setup. Wait for the things that you practiced in your back testing and everything. It's honestly just a patience game and waiting around. So it's like when you know there's an A plus setup coming, wait for it. Don't compromise or settle for less. Because like that's where your money comes from, right? I know some traders they literally only wait for that one setup and then they take that and maybe they do it 2 or 3 times a week and they're done. They literally take 2 or 3 trades a week and they're still making good income. Oh, on Tradeovate you need to change the setting, go with 500 candles. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, nice little push. I like this. I will change those settings after I'm done with the stream and after I'm done trading. I don't want to mess with settings during my live trading just because I don't want to mess things up. But appreciate that. I will test it out. Hitting our resistance level now. Sorry, support level. And let's see. Can we break through it or we're gonna struggle? I think the setting to 500 probably just gives you more data feed backwards, so that way you can see. Guys, I'm liking the setup at the moment. Just gonna wait just a little bit longer. Like I said, it goes up, want to come down. See? Yeah, that's the only thing with Trade Evade that's a little bit iffy, right? You have to really scroll back to get everything. That might look for a short play at the close of this candle. I'm just gonna trade with one contract because of the way the market's moving. Don't want to risk too much. It is having those higher wicks and pulling back a bit stronger, so I don't want to get stopped out and lose too much. So this is one of the moments where it's like a tougher decision for me to make because do I want to break one of my rules because the algo alert is setting up at the moment, but the way the chart looks could potentially just be a pullback before we continue to the upside. Like, and one of the rules is I don't like trading can't like algo alerts that are over 10 points, and this is like 14 as of right now. So it's like I get in, I get in. Maybe I'll wait for it to test, and maybe get that little jump back, and then it can come down again. Then I might get in. I don't know. This is one of those decisions that I have to make. Trade a micro? Yeah, I could do that. But I don't know. I normally just stick with trading the ES, regular contracts, just one. Just trading the micro, I wouldn't really get too much out of it. Like, let's see. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna have this on the other side. That way, I want to enter and bouncing off right there. Our entry point would just go short would be 32.1275. It's pulling back pretty nicely. That's one of the things I was worried about is like pullback. In this market, it's like I don't know if it's worth it. Because target number one is at 31.9850. Like our first target itself is we'll leave it. That was specifically my worry, so that's why I wanted to be careful. So if it can drop down now, that's something I would consider. If not, it's like whenever a candle like it's like 14 points or something or over 10, we end up seeing that little bounce back. Yeah, because my stop would have to be very high. So it's like that's the one reason like I didn't want to risk too much. That's why I had to debate, right? It's like this one would go against my rules, but now that it pulled back completely, and then if we can get sellers to step in, that means sellers are pretty strong and we're good. Only my concern is looking at the delta as well. Trying to push up slowly. So we're gonna have to see. We're moving through points way too fast. Let's see from that. I'd rather just take it for 10. I don't even want to in it for that big of a move. To be honest, that's a lot of risk. I'm finally trying to push a little down. Coming. My top would have to be up here. I mean, if we can get a clean flush, that would make me very happy. If not, then I'd be pretty much trailing this one very carefully because this is a higher risk trade, and I don't really. Oh. Anyway, push back up to 17. Finally, push down again. Oh, we'll see. Might end up getting filled right now. Oh man.
Stop filled.
We just got our order filled right there. Stop's pretty high today. Don't like it. Now it's bouncing back. Crap. One of the reasons I don't trade like those big candles. I don't like this bounce either. I broke one of my rules, right? Now I'm gonna have to pay for it. Let's see. I mean, to be honest, if I can get this out of break even, I'll take it. He came down to the tick, filled me, and then bounced right back up, and now it's gonna take me out.
Stop filled.
Yeah, pretty much lost 500 on that one just because it bounced. It fell me to the tick and then bounced immediately. Like $500 loss in like 1 minute and 1 second. I mean, I follow my rule, but this one I just like I wanted to see if we get a nice sell off. That's why I even reduced my contract size just to 1. I wasn't expecting it to be that fast though, to fill that fast. I mean, if I just paid attention to my, if I just followed my rule, hey, like if the candle's bigger than 10 points, don't get into it. Just wait for another alert. Would have been fine, but broke my rule and I paid for it. No, I'm not gonna try to catch up. I'm not gonna revenge trade or anything like that. Like I'll wait. If I see a perfect setup again, I'll get in. If not, then I'm not gonna take any trade. I'll have to call it a day for that. The funny part is like I was talking about my rule before I placed the trade. Like you guys heard me, and I still broke it. Yeah, if you guys want access to the algo, it is down below. You can sign up for it at Random Guy. It's just like this move right here that breaks one of our rules for the algo trading, right? More than 10 points on the ES and the 5-minute candles, then we don't get in. But broke it, happens. But yesterday we followed, got like 700. Yeah, Mustafa, new background with my desk setup. Oh, see. Might have just been the fake out a little bit. I just pull up my algo charts, right? Pretty much this morning, that sell alert was perfect. I was hoping for it to follow through, but again, one of our rules, more than 10 points, like 14, 25. I kept saying, man, that's just gonna be like on my head. Talked it out, still broke it. But right now, if we followed the stop loss levels, we'd still be in it, but it's like a high risk. I don't like the way it bounced off, but we still have the chance for it to continue down. Have to wait and see how it happens. It didn't touch our first stop loss yet, right? So let's see how it plays out. I'll sit on the stream for a while, for a little bit. And that's also one of the things I didn't follow, right? Because the stop loss, it was too high. Like I didn't feel comfortable with it. But if we followed the algo strictly, our stop loss would have been at 32.2850. Obviously, would have still been in the trade. So let's see if it continues, how well it plays out. But yeah, I did change my room setup up because I got the standing desk and everything, and now you see my little travel knickknacks and everything on the top shelf up here. And it hit that stop loss right there, so it would have taken us out. Yeah, that's why we have that rule, right? More than 10 points, don't get in. Oh man. Oh well. See if we can find another setup. I mean, we could simply bounce off of that 200 EMA, hopefully. Continue the move to the short side. Delta's still pushing up. Oh wait, I'm gonna be patient. Broke my rules, so you know what? I'm gonna make a post-it note right now. Okay. So I use the 1 hour for swing trades, but obviously in the mornings, I trade for like smaller plays. I will be using it in the 5 minute charts. The reason I showed the videos in the 1 hour is because it's easier to understand when you're first getting accustomed to it. And I said, like, once you start off with the 1 hour and then move yourself down to the 5 minutes and the lower time frames. So it's like, I think starting off with the 1 hour is the best way. Then you can, if you're, especially if you're trading micros, you can easily swing trade in the 1 hour and you'll get some great results. And then with the 5 minutes, you just have to understand more of the market and like how it's happening. That's why I made the video in the 1 hour, but I also show people in the 5 minutes. And the 1 hour I also talked about just because a lot of people use it for stocks as well and to swing trade stocks. And it works out beautifully in the 1 hour time frames and the daily time frames. Because I don't want like any beginners starting out and just trying to jump right into 5 minute time frames and then losing their money or anything, because they have to understand market dynamics. 1 hour and daily and 4 hour charts, very easy to understand and read even when you're a beginner. For example, I'll take you to one of my favorite stocks, right? ETFs. PQQQ, one of my favorites. 3x ETF of QQQ, the ETF. And this is the 1 hour charts. And I trade this all the time. Like, I will be buying off the alerts all the time. It's not like I'm only a futures trader, right? I trade stocks, I swing trade stocks a lot. News, right? Like, I know a lot of people still work and they still want to trade, and using the 1 hour charts is also very useful. The 5 minute charts, I use them because obviously more experienced in everything and understand market dynamics and what's going on. 1 hour charts is easier to follow. That's all. It's not like I was trying to show you something and do something else. It's not like that at all. I literally tell people just start off, understand the market first overall, and then work your way down. Top down analysis all the time. So this is interesting, right? So right now we broke through that previous pivot, made that high. This could easily become our pivot higher low, right? It just depends on what this move wants to do for better confirmation of the trend. I would like to see the market push down, to be honest. So the alerts on the Discord, so there are the 1 hour ones as well as the 5 minute ones. So I can pull up the Discord right here for the all the stocks, the large cap, small cap, Bitcoin, and the 10K stock challenge. Those alerts are all in the 1 hour charts. But then for the futures, I have the 1 hour chart as well as the 5 minute candles. Let me see. 1 hour one kind of disappeared. I think I might have to set it up again. Trading view I can take care of right now. But like in Discord, right? You'll see all this, and send you 1 second. There we go. So in the futures algo, all these alerts are pretty much 5 minutes, but I think 1 hour ones stop presenting themselves because there was one the other day. See if I can scroll up to how it would look when it says the 1 hour will literally tell you in the 1 hour time frame. I don't know what happened to it, but when the 1 hour alerts come, they will literally say 1 hour. Like in the 1 hour charts. I don't know why it wasn't. Let me just set that up right now. It's an easy fix. Did my alert turn off? Let me check. Oh, that's why. I accidentally set an expiration time on the alert. That's why. Okay. So from now on, you will see it pop up. All these alerts for some reason had an expiration date on them. So now I'm just making them all open-ended, and you guys should be seeing all the alerts. Seems like we're getting that little resistance at the 200 EMA. Let's see. If we can get a push down, I wouldn't mind entering again, but I will be very patient. Yeah, all the alerts are now activated again, so you should see them all pop up. Yeah, uh, I never use a pitchfork in my trading, so I would not be the best person to ask about that. I'm more of a trend trader, understanding the momentum and understanding the market dynamics that are happening at the moment. I never use a pitchfork, so I can't help you there. I'm sorry. But yeah, for Jonathan, pretty much went through all the alerts, made them active again, made sure they're open-ended so that they never expire. Now you'll next time you see an alert on buy or sell on the ES in the 1 hour as well as 5 minutes, you will see them. For the 1 hours, it will say 1 hour next to them. For the 5 minutes, it'll just say normal. Might get a little choppy here. We are playing around with the high volume node of the day. See if we can hold below it. That would be great. So like long-term trend, it's still pretty much to the short side. Now, quick top-down analysis right now. Like 1 day chart right here, pretty much been selling off. 4 hour chart, still, still continuation, still selling off. Hit that first target for the 4 hour charts and then kind of bouncing back and forth. 1 hour charts, we hit all three targets. 30-minute, I don't know how we're doing. 30-minute hit all three, and now it's like reversing. And 5 minutes, again, we had that previous alert, pretty much hit our stop, now bouncing back down. But we'll see if we can hold. We know how common it is to get those 4 candle pullbacks, 4 to 3 candle pullbacks, and then continue the shift to the downside. Nice strong delta candle here. See if we can get that push. That'd be nice. The way it's bouncing is pretty annoying. So we're gonna see if, I mean, right now we're just kind of like bouncing back and forth around the 200 EMA. So we'll see if we can get that push to the downside. I would want to get short. We're just getting that little choppiness right now, a little back and forth action. I'm trying to see if we can have a potential short position. I'm trying to ride down that overall trend. 1 days are down, 4 hours down, 1 hour is down. So I want to continue that wave, continue that long-term trend, and see if I can get a nice short position. Let's see what can happen. Seems like we really don't want to break above that 200 EMA right now. We're just bouncing back and forth between 200 EMA and that high volume node for the day. I'm literally waiting to see some selling pressure step in. Right now, guys, we are just in that chop, so be careful. for chop. I mean, once it breaks out, then yeah, it'll make a big pump either direction. But right now, I'm just waiting. Me personally, my opinion is still to the short side, but you know, anything can happen. These guys are just still pumping it up back and forth. You see how many like doji candles that we have? Just a lot of back and forth. Fire's finally starting to push up just a little bit. Look, look. I mean, they are up, but it's not nothing crazy, right? Apple's still like a downtrend continuation formation. Tesla, yeah, it still didn't rebound yet. Might rebound today, but we'll have to see. But I don't know. Gonna wait. I don't see any setup that I like so far, so I'll just have to wait. Whatever. Not gonna force a trade just because I lost one. We'll always have tomorrow. House sales, yeah, man, they're going very quick because one, there's a housing shortage because like not too many people are selling, so like everyone's just buying rapidly. I know at least in the Northeast, a lot of people are moving out and selling their house because they're getting really good offers for them. And like if you're older and you're trying to retire and you want to move out of state to pay less taxes, at least where I am, right? Because property taxes are pretty high. Like they're getting good deals, selling super fast. And even if you say, oh, you have another offer from somebody, people are just outbidding them. They're like, oh, you want an extra 30K? Sure, take it. That's like the situation right now. I mean, could you just post the link to the article? I'd love to see what's up. I know foreclosures are gonna happen. Like, we've been pushing it off for way too long. It's in the news calendar? Okay. I didn't know because like sometimes people have like specific articles that they're watching. I mean, the big Wall Street people want the housing to crash because then they can scoop up all the properties. They've been doing that. If you look into like Blackstone Group or anyone like that, right? What have they been doing? They've been buying up real estate. It's not just commercial buildings or rental buildings. They're buying up single family houses as well. So they're like making them shift over and trying to make more people rent so that they have control. Yeah, I mean everyone wants to buy properties for cheap, right? That's the point. I'm just saying, like Blackstone, like they've been really making big moves. I think I might just hop out the stream right now. I'll still have my alerts up and everything, get them in the Discord as well. But if I get an alert for something, then I'll probably come back up and enter. But in the meantime, I'm probably just gonna make myself some lunch before I have to head out. So yeah, if you guys are still trading, best of luck. Make sure you have some profits. Don't break any rules that you guys have, like I did today. The lesson again for me. I made that little post-it note, put it on my computer. Don't trade any candle over 10 points with the alert. If I didn't do that, I would have just been, at zero like profit or anything. But that's better than having negative, right? Because today, negative 500. I'm always open with all my P&Ls. I have nothing to hide right now. Like, you guys see me take my trades live. 500 loss happens. I broke my rule. I paid for it. That's the lesson. I'm glad I didn't enter with 2 contracts though. Yep, but have a wonderful day, guys. I will be back tomorrow. We'll get some nice moves. Hopefully, Funky Friday won't mess us up. But yeah, have a nice day.